Everyone knows Hollywood marriages aren't typically made to last. How often do you hear about stars tying the knot just to call the whole thing off less than a week later? If you've picked up a tabloid magazine pretty much ever, you've no doubt seen articles about whirlwind, Tinseltown romances that went up in flames pretty much as fast as they got going. But there are exceptions to every rule. A few A-listers have somehow managed to find true love in a world of vanity, greed, and ego. Join us as we take a closer look at some of the longest enduring celebrity marriages and relationships in Hollywood.
Trust our leader.
Samuel L. Jackson and LaTanya Richardson Jackson. In August of 2020, Samuel L. Jackson and his lovely wife LaTanya celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary and their 50th anniversary as a couple. The couple tied the knot in 1980, 10 years after they met while they were both attending Morehouse College in Atlanta. 2 years after walking down the aisle, the Jacksons welcomed their daughter Zoe into the world. According to an Instagram post that the actor made on their anniversary last year, when the couple first got together, it was, quote, all fun and games. But 5 decades later, Samuel says that LaTanya still keeps him on his toes and that she makes his soul sing. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Facts First for more. And stick around for a lot more long-lasting couples. James Garner and Lois Clarke. While James Garner passed away in 2016, he and wife Lois Clarke were married for 58 years. They got married 2 weeks after they first met in 1956 because apparently they knew almost immediately they were each other's soulmates. Garner and Clarke had one daughter named Kim from a previous marriage, and later they had another daughter together they named Gigi. When commenting on the longevity of his marriage, Garner quipped that marriage was a lot like being in the Army. He explained that while everyone tends to complain about it, you'd be surprised by how many people re-enlist. Ringo Starr and Barbara Bach. As opposed to Paul McCartney, who has had his fair share of marriages, Ringo has been happily married to his wife Barbara for more than 40 years. The two met on the set of the film Caveman in 1980 and were married at Marylebone Town Hall on April 27, 1981. These days, Starr and Bach hop between their two homes in Los Angeles and Monte Carlo, although they own numerous other properties around the world. Jimmy and Rosalyn Carter. The former president and first lady have been married for 74 years, making them the longest married presidential couple in U.S. history. They met in the early 40s when President Carter, who's now 97, was on a break from the Naval Academy. Their first date was a night out at the movies, and Rosalyn's sister Ruth tagged along as well. Carter says he immediately felt a connection with his wife when they met. He found her to be both beautiful and innocent, and they just clicked. On their first date to the cinema, Rosalyn and Jimmy rode in the rumble seat of a Ford pickup truck, while Rosalyn's sister and her boyfriend rode up front. At the end of the evening, Jimmy and Rosalyn enjoyed their first kiss, a memory that the former president says he'll never forget. The following morning, Carter told his mother Rosalyn was the one he was going to marry. And not long after, on July 7, 1946, the pair got married. They went on to have 4 children together, 3 sons and 1 daughter. Regis Philbin and Senese. At the time of his death in 2020, Regis had been married to the love of his life, Joy, for 50 years. The couple were married in 1970 and had 2 children. While Regis was known affectionately as the hardest working man in showbiz, it's clear he had also put in a lot of hard work into keeping his marriage a happy and healthy one. It was readily apparent he had a lot of love for his family, as he would often mention Joy and his children while on live TV. Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne. After this married couple were on a hit reality show together, making their private lives a matter of public marriage, they still managed to keep their relationship alive for nearly 40 years. For decades, Ozzy was the only Osbourne we were all familiar with, seeing as how he was the frontman for Black Sabbath. But after the Osbournes premiered in 2002, Sharon grew into a star of her own. She's since built a career as a TV personality and notably co-hosted The Talk from 2010 to 2021. Bonnie Bartlett and William Daniels. Bonnie Bartlett has enjoyed a prolific career as an actress that has spanned more than 6 decades. She's perhaps best known for her role as Ellen Craig on the hit NBC medical drama series St. Elsewhere. It was while working on that show that she met her future husband, fellow actor William Daniels, who played her fictional husband, Dr. Mark Craig. In 1986, they became the first married couple since Alfred Lunt and Lynn Fontanne to both win Emmy Awards on the same evening. The couple tied the knot on June 30th, 1951, which means that this past June, Bartlett and Daniels celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary. Daniels told the press in a recent interview that the key to their marriage success has been showing each other mutual respect. They have 3 sons together, Robert, Michael, and William Jr. Kirk Douglas and Ann Buydens. Douglas passed away at the ripe old age of 103 in February of 2020. At the time of his death, he and his wife Ann had been married for nearly 70 years. The two were hitched in Las Vegas in 1956. Douglas told People magazine in 2015 that the secret to their success as a married couple was by solving all of their disagreements with a kiss. Douglas and Buydens had 2 sons together, Eric and Peter, although Douglas had 2 other sons from a previous marriage to Diana Lovedill. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Russell began his relationship with Goldie Hawn in 1983, shortly after finalizing his divorce with his first wife, actress Susan Hubley. Russell and Hawn got together while co-starring in the 1984 film Swing Shift, although they had previously appeared together in the 1968 musical film The One and Only Genuine Family Band. Russell and Hawn have 1 son together named Wyatt Russell, who was born in 1986, and they own homes in British Columbia, Colorado, New York, and California. While the couple never felt the need to get married, they've been creating together for almost 40 years now. At this point, Russell says a marriage certificate wouldn't create anything they didn't already have. Kevin Kline and Phoebe Cates. Kevin Kline and his wife Phoebe Cates have been enjoying marital bliss since 1989. They met in 1983 and started dating in 1985. In their 32 years of marriage, they've had 2 children together, Owen Kline and Greta Kline, the latter of which fronts the anti-folk band Frankie Cosmos. Kline says the secret to keeping their marriage going after all this time has been keeping it private. Christopher Guest and Jamie Lee Curtis. Guest is known for being the man behind the camera on films like This Is Spinal Tap, Best in Show, and For Your Consideration. Curtis, on the other hand, is a gifted actress and writer, best known for her role as Laurie Strode in 1978's Halloween and many of its sequels, including 2021's Halloween Kills. For some reason, a lot of people are surprised when they find out these 2 stars have been married for decades. Perhaps it's because Curtis has never made an appearance in one of Guest's mockumentary films. Guest and Curtis were married December 18, 1984. As the story goes, Curtis saw a picture of Guest in Rolling Stone and told her friend Deborah Hill that he was the man she was going to marry. A few months later, her dream came true. Guest and Curtis have 2 adopted daughters together, Annie, born in 1986, and Ruby, born in 1996. Now it's time to hear from you. Were you surprised to learn that any of the couples we covered in this video have been together as long as they have? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.